Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, Dr. Gloria.
Yeah, good evening. Please, we're about to start. Please, can you all mute yourselves?
Good evening, Dr. Gloria.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Okay.
Sailesh Prajapati, Principal, Government School, India.
Good to have you here. You're welcome. Okay, so we are going to start the session now, and is on record. So please let's mute ourselves. Once it's your turn to speak, you can unmute and speak. All right. Good evening once again. It is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome you to this edition of a Walk Through Education Intellectual Exchange. Today's gathering is a testament of our collective commitment to creating a better world through education. And I am thrilled to see such a distinguished audience of educators, leaders, and change makers here with us. Our theme today, addressing gender disparities in education, is one that speaks to the heart of equitable development. Education is the most powerful tool we have for changing the world. Yet for many, access to it is limited by systemic barriers rooted in gender inequality. Today, we come together not just to discuss these disparities, but to reimagine strategies and solutions to bridge these gaps and create an inclusive educational landscape for every child, regardless of gender. I would like to express my gratitude to our esteemed speakers, thought leaders, and advocates who have joined us from different parts of the world. Your dedication to fostering equity in education is truly inspiring, and I look forward to the wealth of knowledge and experiences you will share today. Let us make this a day of impactful dialogue, shared learning, and actionable solutions. Together, we can make a difference. Education is not only a fundamental right, but also a powerful driver of change and progress. However, gender disparity in education remains a global challenge. In many parts of the world, girls face barriers such as cultural norms, economic hardships, and safety concerns that prevent them from accessing quality education. Similarly, boys in certain regions experience challenges that hinder their academic growth and emotional development. The question before us is, how do we break these cycles of inequality? How do we ensure that every child, regardless of gender, has the opportunity to learn, grow, and thrive? In today's session, we will explore innovative approaches to tackling these disparities, share success stories, and highlight best practices from around the world. Our distinguished speakers, with their diverse expertise and experiences, will shed light on actionable strategies that educators, policymakers, and communities can adopt to address these pressing issues. This discussion is not just about identifying challenges, it's about finding solutions that will shape a more inclusive and equitable future for all. I want to once again welcome you all to this session, and I hereby declare the session open with our first speaker that always ignites the motion. I'm going to be calling on Dr. Rania to take the virtual floor. Over to you, Dr. Rania.
Thank you very much, Gloria. Good afternoon greetings from Athens, from Greece. It's my great excitement and honor me too to welcome you to today's event, where we gather today to discuss a critical issue that continues to impact communities across the world, gender disparities in education. And I think that this is not just an issue of access, because it's something that touches the very foundation of how we envision a fair, just, and inclusive society. Despite the progress made over the years, many girls and boys, women and men, are still denied equal opportunities to learn, to grow, and succeed because of the gender. And of course, globally, we know that millions of girls face barriers like, as Gloria said, barriers like poverty or child marriage and societal expectations. This issue is not just about numbers. It's about real people, real lives, real potential, which is left untapped. So today, I think that during this whole session, I think that our goal It's not only to highlight the challenges, but to explore meaningful solutions. We can reflect on the progress made, of course, on the obstacles we still face, and most importantly, the steps we can take to ensure that everyone, regardless of gender, has access to the transformative power of education. So now, in 2023, here in Greece, the Greek Ministry of Education, where I'm working, I was assigned as a committee project team collaborator of the Gender Action Plan 2023-2026. This action plan actually will try to set out organizational priorities for addressing gender equality, to identify activities and monitoring plans. Of course, we have assigned one observatory to implement the plan through various initiatives. We try actually what we're doing. We try to design and provide programs about awareness, mentoring, coaching, guidance, and establishing bridges of collaboration between various institutions on a national and international level. So I think that when we started this project, there were many women inside the ministry who said that they had the need for mental health programs. So this was actually a surprise, because we started from mental health and burnout programs. Many working women in the ministry expressed this interest. We try to adopt here a mentoring method which is called diversity and inclusion training, so strategies for creating a more inclusive work environment with increasing cultural, social, racial, and gender awareness. This is one part of what we're doing. It's in the ministry. The second aspect of my activities about gender and women empowerment is with the Greek Astronomy Space Company. Recently, we launched the setup of our 4 coding clubs and astronomy STEM workshops for girls in the outskirts of Athens, in suburbs and remote areas of Athens. These after-school clubs are addressed to high school age girls who are coming from a low economical background. Actually, these clubs aim to help young girls who are historically underrepresented in coding to learn beginner computer programming logic. And of course, these workshops are provided also to parents, because parents need to be informed about how they can motivate daughters in this, raise awareness that girls and women are as capable as boys. The third part that I want to share with you is that recently I got a report from the Eurydice. Eurydice is a service in program, actually, the European Union, a European program which tries to explain how education systems are organized in Europe and how they work. So the recent statistics are shocking, because they show that women in STEM, girls in STEM, are still underrepresented, and the number, especially in computer science, is falling, is decreasing. So it is shocking, because we organize so many initiatives, so many events here in Greece, in general, in Europe. So many funded programs of the European Union, so many, conferences, workshops, trainings, unlimited opportunities that we offer to girls, and still the numbers are decreasing. Especially in Greece, the number of graduated students, of female students who graduated from computer science decreased by 10%. So the European Union said, the experts said, that the reason behind this is that still there are these stereotypes that persist, and that still women don't feel confidence when it comes to the world of science and STEM-related careers. So here I want to say that the major challenges, if we talk about women in science, has to do first with Matilda effect. What is this Matilda effect? Is when we is all this bias against acknowledging the achievements of women, and the work of women is attributed to their male colleagues. How many times we have seen women who made scientific discoveries, but the Nobel was attributed to a man. So their work is attributed to male counterparts. This is the Matilda effect. And what we try to do here is, of course, to mitigate, to eliminate this effect. Secondly, we talk about girls, women in STEM who enroll in the university, in STEM careers. It's what we call leaky pipeline phenomenon. Women enroll in the first year and second year, but they don't manage to take a degree from a STEM career. Again, this has to do with a lack of confidence. The stereotype of working women in STEM is rarely attractive. When women are portrayed, for example, in science, they are often shown through unflattering stereotypes as characters who have limited social lives, who are not physically appealing. And such caricatures, of course, can discourage a girl from pursuing studies in science. Another important issue we need to know is the impostor syndrome in psychology. This has to do when we have fear or guilt about success, or that we are not able to live up to expectations, when we have self-doubt or denial of our competencies and skills. This is happening many times in STEM because of the rapid technological advancements and change. We feel that we are not able to keep up with. Women are suffering from this. And the most important is the stereotype threat. What is this? These gender stereotypes introduced in childhood especially are reinforced throughout our lives and become what we call in psychology self-fulfilling prophecies. So some scientists say that have observed that when members of a group are made aware of a negative stereotype, they are more likely to perform according to this stereotype. For example, stereotypically, boys are better at math and science than girls. When girls are reminded of their gender before a math or a science test, they will definitely fail. So this stereotype threat discourages girls, of course, and women from entering technical fields. This is one of the key reasons that so few study computer science, for example. So long-standing biases are steering girls and women away from science-related fields. What are some strategies now to encourage and support and empower women in the pursuit of STEM education? First, to challenge stereotypes, break down barriers. Many girls grow up hearing that STEM fields are difficult, they are boring, that for boys, or that women aren't good at math or science as boys. So challenging stereotypes is essential. Teachers, parents, mentors can explicitly reinforce that everyone, regardless of gender, is capable of excelling in STEM. This means promoting more stronger female role models and success stories of women in STEM. This can demonstrate to girls that they belong in these fields. And highlighting real-world applications, this means connect STEM concepts to real-world issues such as environmental sustainability or healthcare innovation or social justice can help girls see the relevance and impact of STEM in their lives. Understanding that STEM can be used to solve pressing challenges might motivate girls to pursue this field. So more female role models, having women, for example, inviting women scientists, engineers, mathematicians, technologists, speak at schools or visit classrooms, or even serve as guest speakers can inspire girls to see what is possible. Mentorship programs, of course, are important. Establishing mentorship programs where girls can connect with female STEM professionals. This always provides guidance, advice, and emotional support. So female mentors can help girls navigate challenges, offer encouragement when they encounter obstacles, and this can help them build confidence and resilience. So it's all about encouraging risk-taking and persistence, because many girls, due to societal pressures or internalized fears, might avoid taking risks in STEM subjects, especially when they encounter difficulty. So they need to foster a growth mindset where challenges are viewed as opportunities to learn and grow. And educators can help girls develop resilience. So encourage them to embrace mistakes as a part of the learning process. And at the same time, try to provide supportive learning environments. Girls often perform better when they feel supported and encouraged in their learning. Creating classroom environments that emphasize collaboration, feedback, not judgmental learning, can make STEM feel more accessible. So girls should feel that it's okay to ask questions, to explore ideas, to collaborate with others in a positive and a welcoming space. Engaging activities. Girls are more likely to stay engaged with STEM subjects if they are able to experience the excitement of these fields firsthand. So offering interactive and hands-on activities such as coding workshops or science experiments or engineering challenges can spark curiosity and engagement. So at the same time, encourage creativity. A common misperception in STEM is that STEM is all about logic and rigid thinking. This is not true. Creativity plays a huge role in innovation in science and technology. Encouraging girls to approach STEM problems creatively through art, through design, through interdisciplinary projects can help them develop a personal connection to the subject. So letting them know that creativity and critical thinking go hand in hand in STEM, this will help them feel more confident in their abilities. So we need to create inclusive STEM curricula. Use gender neutral language. Language has the power to shape perception. Using gender neutral terms in teaching materials to promote diverse examples that include female scientists, engineers, mathematicians, can encourage girls to see STEM as an inclusive and welcoming space for everyone. Encourage collaboration over competition. STEM fields, we know that they are very competitive, but girls tended to thrive in environments that emphasize teamwork and collaboration. So women also need to support each other. I'm saying this because women tend to be competitive also. So women should support each other, collaborate each other, try to address confidence gap by building confidence early. Girls underestimate their abilities, particularly maths and science, due to a lack of encouragement, internalized stereotypes. Encouraging self-advocacy, teaching girls how to advocate for themselves in academic and professional environments also is vital. And expanding access to STEM opportunities, so more after-school camps or summer school STEM camps, extracurriculum activities, more scholarship and internships. This is important because these programs allow girls to gain practical experience, to see the range of careers available to them, make connections that will help them guide the future career paths. And of course, partner finally with parents and communities, the parental support, as I said before, everything starts from family. Parents are those who shape who give the first for role models, and the community engagement, collaboration that could be with local business, with organizations, with universities, can provide girls with real-world exposure to STEM fields. More community outreach initiatives, school visits, STEM expos, career fairs that can help girls see the variety of STEM careers that exist and how they can participate in these fields. So by concluding, I want to emphasize that encouraging girls to pursue STEM is not just about breaking down barriers. It's about cultivating a mindset that sees STEM as a field where everyone can belong and thrive regardless of gender. By fostering a culture of inclusion, supporting curiosity, educators, mentors, parents can empower girls to dream big and pursue STEM careers with confidence. We have the example of India with the mission of the space mission, Chandigarh. We have seen a number of women, great women leaders who were behind this successful project. So the Indians gave us this example about STEM, women in STEM. So by giving girls the tools, resource, inspiration they need, we can help create a more diverse and innovative STEM community, where the contributions of women are valued, are celebrated, and integral always to the progress of society. Thank you very much. Sorry for speaking too much, but when we talk about STEM, I can speak for hours about women in STEM. Dr. Anjum says very well, she's an engineer, and she knows that I'm passionate about this topic. She will share her insights too, and I'm looking forward to her speech.
Thank you. Thank you very much for this. You've just highlighted the causes and also some of the solutions. Some of the causes, stereotypes, self-doubt, and societal pressure. And also, just to mention few, and you also spoke about collaboration. That's the solution, collaboration, and it should start from home. Of encouragement from families, encourage them that they can do that. You push them instead of just, in some situations, some parents even cause the problem because they say, okay, no, you're not a boy, you are a girl, you cannot do it, you can do that, boys are better in this. So this challenge also starts from home. So children should be encouraged from home and societies as well. Then mentorship, you mentioned something about mentorship, which is very important because with mentorship, we can bring those women, bring women, not just women, even men. Some men are also having some challenges, some gender inequality. So we can encourage them, tell them that they can do it. With mentorship, we can break this barrier. Thank you very much, Dr. Rania. You're always on point. Thank you. All right, okay, I'll quickly move on to the next speaker. Mr. Nahid, are you ready? After me, Mr. Nahid, I'm going to call on Mr. Steve Odo. Please get ready while Mr. Nahid take over the virtual floor. Over to you, Dr. Nahid.
Thank you. I am Nahid Rada. I'm a school principal in India. I appreciate a speech delivered by Rania ma'am. She always articulates with the clarity of thought and pinpointed speech. I generally and always appreciate her talk. And she cited example of India. I am very grateful to ma'am that she uh, put us somewhere. So it is sincerely appreciated. So today topic given to me is outstanding, appreciable, and very close to my heart because I myself wish that girls must progress, they must be promoted, and they must be accepted, right, as they are. Breaking barriers, promoting equal access to education for girls and boys. If nature has given equality, God has given equality. Who are we to differentiate? Both are equal component of society. This is how society runs. World can progress, planet could be peaceful, right? So what is happening today? Girls are not behind naturally. I appreciate their brains are very much connected, their linguistics are very good, their scientific temperament is very good, their discipline is very good, and organizing skills are outstanding. We need to learn from them, right? So how can we promote access education to boys and girls? Socio and cultural barriers are there, we need to break, and from breaking these barriers we need to create culture movement, and yes, we must have vision to materialize it. We need to go to religious leaders, community leaders, elders, and specifically I felt that grandparents must be approached. Community leaders we should communicate with, so that we can tell that yes, in this world female girls are doing the way you want the world to be. Nowadays influencers are there, we can talk, we can put forth the idea of promoting girls, and yes, awareness must be created through organizing workshops, seminars, public events. And yes, in between, many events are there. In between, we can talk and put forth the slogan so that girls' education could be promoted. With this, we will have to create access to education for girls. We will have to build more schools, and we will have to maintain good schools, and infrastructure must be appropriate so that girls could be accommodated well. And we need to create libraries, we need to create sanitation, and yes, sometimes we need to give scholarship to girls, financial support to girls, so that they could feel themselves involved and there is no burden to the family. Quality education has to be accorded. How can we need to recruit good teacher, we have to sensitize teacher, and qualified teachers, competent teachers, they will deliver better, and girls would be educated. When they are educated, they should pair, they should share, and they should promote each other. So today, collaboration is the key word, and girls must collaborate as Rani Amme stated, right? If they are collaborating, so they can multiplicitly move ahead, right? Safe and inclusive learning environment must be fostered in the classes, at home, right? Empower girls and women, right? There are lot many great personality. Condoleezza Rice was there, Secretary of State of USA, right? Lot many leaders, they have done very well. So they have potential, right? Occasional training could be given in the beginning. So advocate for policy changes, like we should lobby for legislation so that more and more girls could be accommodated, right? Girls right to education should be there, girls marriage should be minimized, and I should say abolished, right? Right, child labor must be abolished, it should be eliminated, Yes, we need to collaborate with government so that we can put forth idea of promoting girls. This is all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you, Mr. Nahid. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much. You just mentioned safe and inclusive learning. That means it has to start in school. Okay, we've mentioned, Dr. Rania said something about family. Yeah, family encouragement. Okay, if the family should encourage the students and they go to school without support from the teachers, without support from the school environment, the students will definitely lose hope. So I think Mr. Nahid is on point on this one. Thank you very much for your presentation. We're going to come back to this towards the end of the presentations. So I will quickly call on Mr. Steve Ojo to take over the virtual floor. Please, Dr. Arjun, get ready after Mr. Steve. All right, over to you, Mr. Steve. You are mute.
So sorry.
Okay.
Let me take this opportunity to thank you so much, Madam Dr. Gloria, for giving us this opportunity so that we can share on various issues affecting our communities. And again, I want to thank all the speakers and the participants who are here with us today. These issues cut across the globe, and they are not for a particular region. That is why we come together here as educators of this world. We share, and we want to bring this issue out so that we can basically get the best out of it for our children to benefit. Allow me to talk about parental influence on gender perceptions in education. As a parent, what is your biggest role? As the parents of these children who are in school, what are our duties? What are our influence on gender perceptions in education? I know very well that today, as previous speakers have said, we started sometimes back talking about the girl child education, the girl child empowerment. And to be honest, it has been pushed. It is an agenda that has been pushed so much. So to an extent that I'm even getting worried of the boy child. Because the boy child is almost not mentioned in our conversation so much. If we empower our girls so much, maybe we might even lack proper husbands for our empowered girls. The boys will be totally left behind. So as parents, we must ensure that we balance our children well so that we do not have a generation of extremely empowered girls and boy child who has been neglected. A neglected boy child is a danger to the society. Now, there is this Canadian-American psychologist called Albert Bandura, who came up with the social learning theory that actually basically explains how we acquire our behavior, that we can learn new behavior by observing and imitating others. As parents, are we ready for this? Because there are certain factors associated with parental involvement in their children's education. I'll mention 3 of them. The factors associated with parental involvement. Number 1 is the parental involvement How well are we involved in the education of our children? Do we follow up their general welfare in school? Do we follow up the academic welfare of that child? All the aspects of that child need to be put into consideration. So our parental involvement as parents, that would come number one. Number two is parenting styles. Do not let it be known in your house that you openly show signs of supporting a particular gender in your house. No. Your parenting style should be uniform, should be one that can, encourage the children in your house to see that they are all taken care of. Number three are parental internal attachment patterns. How well are you attached to your children? How well are you attached to your children? How well can they come to tell you the problem they had in school? How well do they tell you the discrimination they face? So these three factors are very important for any parent, that you need to put that into consideration. Now, gender perceptions affect education in different perspectives. Number one, subject choices in our schools. The subject choices in our schools. Do we allow both gender to pick the same subjects as parents? Or are you going to tell your daughter that she is a girl, cannot pick maths? Or are you going to force that your son to be picking maths because that is the man's subject? So the gender perception already affecting us, number one, in subject choices. Number two, career choices. As parents, do we allow these children to choose their career, or we greatly interfere based on their gender? If we come in, we can only offer guidance. We can enlighten children in different career paths, but we do not end up making decisions for them. And that is why I'm a teacher here in Kenya, and a parent came, actually a child I taught sometimes back told me that he has done a degree for his father. Now he wants to go and do his. The parent told me that he actually wanted me to do journalism. Now I have done journalism. I have the certificate. I have taken to him because that was his. Now I want to do music, which is mine. So the career choices is another area that we can bring in the perception of gender biasness. And then number three, family decisions that we make. As a family, parents must come up with family decisions that do not show open biasness towards any gender in the house. For example, you leave your son watching TV, and then you tell your daughter, who has been maybe mopping the house, that you see, washing the dishes is the girl's duty. We had agreed as a family. No. Make that girl and the boy know we share our responsibilities in this house. Make the same thing when it comes to education. That these maths and these sciences and these social, the social studies and all that, it is the responsibility of all of us as learners. We have learners. We don't have boys and girls in school doing separate things. So as family, we make decisions that can really ruin even the future. And then last, but not least, the learning experiences. How comfortable are you letting your girl go out to play with others, your teenager girl to go out and play with others, as compared to your teenager boy going to play out with others? Who will get more experience than the other? At the end of it all, you will realize that, especially the mothers, and I have nothing against the mothers, they will always strongly, get hold of their daughters. No. You can't just go roaming around the estate here. No. But what about the boy? You go and play football there. Just make sure you come back before the evening, all right? Remember, their experiences in a year or two will be totally different. Their social life will be totally different. So we need also to allow these two gender, the boys and the girls, they must be handled. Yes, we can handle them differently, but we give them also time to have some learning experiences. The same to academic life. As I wind up, the parents need to be one, engage the teachers. Kindly engage the teachers in the development and growth, both academically and psychologically, of your children. Play a part. Let us not take children to school and then we leave them to the teachers to do their work. Number two, we need parents as members of the society to ensure that the society has some form of knowledge on gender stereotyping. Our communities must be taught. Those who are teaching members of the society, they are parents, meaning it is our responsibility as parents to organize our small communities and societies to understand exactly how we are going to handle our children as a community. Remember, children are not yours. The raising of children is a communal thing. You will not be everywhere where your children are. Lastly, you tell your daughter or your son that, you see, I was also poor in maths. Don't worry. I was doing very well in biology, but I was not doing very well in maths. So she comes home with poor grades in maths. You offer that role, being the role model in you, you are already giving a negative report. That, look, maths is not for ladies. Maths is for men. I was also at one time very poor in maths, but don't worry. No, encourage. This is a different generation altogether. Tell them they can. I will not be telling my children that I did not do well in maths. I will be talking about them. The efforts that I used to put, I would really encourage them that, look, you are not very poor in maths. You are performing very well. The only thing that you need to do is to correct here and there. So we need to ensure that we are good role models, from our behavior to what we speak. Words are powerful. Thank you, and allow me to stop there. Thank you so much.
Wow, awesome presentation. Thank you, Mr. Steve. You've just hit the nail on the head. But I would say that I don't think this gender equality we're talking about is just for girls. I think it's for both gender. But the situation whereby we always mention girls is because girls, how will I put it? The stereotype is more on the girls. There are areas where you find out that once a girl is up to 10 years old, the next thing is to get married. In other areas, you find out that a girl that is not married at the age of 15 will be looked down on. And some places, girls are not allowed to even go to schools because they feel that it is a waste of time. Why should you train a girl while after everything, she is going to end in the kitchen? Some religion even support that. But also we have issues that affect boys as well, where boys are asked, you are the man of the house. Once you're 6 years old, you are supposed to take responsibility as a father. Then in another way, there is something you mentioned that really touched me. Why is it that parents always, try to guide their female children and leave the male children loose? I also realized that in this situation, we are all adults here. Who are those people that will ruin the lives of those girls, if not the boys? So if you guide the boys at the initial stage, I think your girls are safe. But a situation whereby you leave the boys to roam about, learn bad habits, and you guide the girls, definitely those boys will come back to the girls. So I think the society, we need to guide all gender, both boys and girls. They need that guidance. They need to be safe. They need to stay at home. You don't just say, okay, you can go, you're free to go. You're going to party, okay, no problem, you're a boy, you're free to go. No, we should treat them equally so that we will tame the society, because a society where the boys are tamed, that society is safe. Thank you very much for your contribution. It's an amazing. I think you generated amazing points. Thank you very much. Please pick up your pens and write down some comments. Write down some questions if you have any. At the end of the presentations, please, we'll have to discuss on this. All right. Ambassador Mary Akach, please get ready after Dr. Ajun. The virtual floor is yours, Dr. Ajun.
Yeah, thank you very much, and greetings to everyone. In fact, this is a very interesting topic where we are talking about gender disparities in education, and because I'm a professor in an engineering college and obviously a researcher in the field of IoT and AI. So where I selected that I should be today speaking about the gender gap that we are observing in higher education and research. Because the field where I am still I am there, I can see in engineering, the time when I studied, girls were very less, not more than 20%, I can say. We could hardly find a female faculty. It was there were female faculties, but they used to teach other subjects like communication skills. Specifically into engineering, there were not more than one or two. But yes, with the awareness among the people, this number is increasing. In fact, in the branch where I am, like in electronics and also in branches like computer science, the number of girls are increasing. There were restrictions for the admission of girls in branches like mining. Now that restrictions has been removed. Now girls can take admission into mining engineering. There are reservations for admissions into mechanical engineering. So the girls are coming, they are joining. But you know what? After that, what I have observed is there are some of the companies, they are not yet ready to absorb them or give them job. Though restrictions to admissions to girls has been removed, but still there are companies with mining industries, they say that in their bylaws they have never thought that a girl or a female would work in mines. So this is changing somewhere. Some of them are changing their guidelines so that they can have girls into it. And regarding research, we can say because less number of girls come into STEM field, into the technology and engineering field. So there are less number of, obviously, there will be less number of females who are either the first author or the corresponding author in a paper. Even if the girls are there in the team, there are some stereotypes, okay, because a female, you shouldn't be interacting with others, with unknown people. So mostly if there is a male in that group, he will keep himself as a corresponding author. So having a name as a corresponding author, even that ratio is very less. As sometimes we say that the girls entering into the STEM field is very less. But even if we see the field for social and social studies or humanities or arts, even in that field, the number of corresponding authors as women is very less. It is not more than 45%. But still, the men are leading into that. It is 55%. And this data which I am giving, this is not more than 2 years. Like it is something around 2021-22 when I read about this. Might be this percentage would have increased, but still there is no equality into that. Still, the women are far behind it. So, if we want to bridge this gap, yes, obviously, I just saw many people think of so many suggestions, and like one of you just said, I can't remember the name. Like when we talk about mentoring, when we talk about awareness, it is not only that the girls should be made aware that okay, you have to pursue a career in this, you have to go for higher education, you have to go for research and all. But besides that, this mentoring or this awareness should be both for the girls and the boys. Because even today, even in India, the girls, when they're getting married, maximum like 27, 28, not beyond that, and if they are very career conscious, some 30 and all. So once they get married, then it again gets difficult to give time to their research, to give time for their higher studies. So in that case, everyone should be made aware that how why it was important for a woman to remain into higher studies, or to continue higher studies, and not just studies but also research, because we women have a different mindset. And especially if we talk about some women oriented issues or some research that should be done specially for women, I think we can think it better. So we need to have more women on this into research field, and for that, the mentoring should be done for both the genders. I think everyone must, of us must be knowing the concept of gender mainstreaming. We just don't talk about gender equality, but we talk about gender equity, where there should be equal opportunities for all. Sometimes I don't like this term when you say women empowerment, because I feel that at that time you're thinking low about a woman, and you think that women is down somewhere and you have to lift her up. But you don't think that a woman has to be encouraged, and at the same time the men has to be told that okay, this is a society where you both are equally responsible for the development of the society, and you both have to equally participate into that. So obviously, like, because this inequality is everywhere, but being a researcher somewhere, I feel that more girls should be encouraged to pursue their higher education. There are a number of reasons, and according to the countries, why there are more number of girls dropouts, it may vary, but one basic reason is the stereotypes that we are having. So we need to overcome the stereotypes so that the girls come with go for higher education, and when they are for their higher education, obviously there will be more researchers. In fact, even if you see at the date of patent, there still there will be many patents where you don't have any females into it. The first author in that published patent, that was also very less, and it is not just about India, but it is also about European countries as well. So the women are somewhere lacking behind. So we just need some kind of encouragement and especially support. We as women, we need to support each other. So if we provide the support, obviously we will be able to reduce the gender gap that we are observing. So thank you, Melbus. Thank you for your patient listening.
Thank you very much, Dr. Arjun. Amazing points you just raised. You talked about equal responsibilities for boys and girls. Yes, if we give everyone equal responsibility, there are some areas where boys will do better. There are some areas where girls will do better. And if we give them that opportunity, I think even those areas that we feel that boys are better in, girls will even do better. And those areas, I've seen a man that cooks better than a woman. I've seen a woman. I think we have in our midst a mathematician, a lady, Chidima. I think yes, Chidima is here. She's a lady, she's a mathematician in her doing her PhD in mathematics. So I think we should give everyone equal opportunity to rise together, and a society that grows together, what happens? In fact, that society becomes better. Thank you very much, Dr. Arjun. Okay, so I'll quickly call on Ambassador Mary Akach to take over the virtual floor. Please, Ambassador Johanna, please get ready after Mary.
Thank you so much, Dr. Gloria. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from wherever you're watching. This is Teacher Mary Akach and Ambassador Mary as well. Today's topic is one of the topics that I'm so passionate about, and I've just been nodding throughout because the speakers have left nothing unturned, from the very first speaker to the last speaker that we've just had. Now, my point of focus today will be the impact of early marriages on girl-child education. Is there any negative impact? Is there any positive impact of early or child marriage in girl-child education? Despite the fact that today my focus will be on girl-child education, I'm one person who champions for equity, for gender equity and social justice over gender equality. Because I do feel that, please do remember that we are talking about SDG 5, that is gender equality. If we continue talking about gender equality, then we'll never achieve it. We'll actually never achieve gender equality if we adopt equality. But if we adopt justice and equity, then we'll be able to get to the point where we can say we have gender equality. Well, today my point will be related to patriarchy. Was it not for the patriarchal society that we experience, especially in Africa and especially in Kenya, maybe there could have not been any impact, negative impact that can be talked of as far as early marriage is concerned. UNICEF actually says, reports that early marriage or child marriage is a violation of human rights that not only affects the potential of the girl child to concentrate in education or to access quality education, but again, it also affects some areas like health-wise. The girls are affected health-wise. And now, what is this patriarchy that is, if related, if associated with early stroke child marriage that affects the potential or the education of girl child? Patriarchy is a system where the males are believed to be the leaders. And if I can make a context in Kenya, literally patriarchal society is where the males are supposed to be providers, while the females are supposed to do some roles like childbearing. So meaning they're not supposed to pursue any career or any education. In patriarchy, it's funny that I'm teaching both theory and I'm also Christian religious education for that matter, and I'm also championing against patriarchal society. Well, this Christian religious education really emphasizes on submission, and it is even in the Bible that women were created to be submissive to the men. So sometimes it becomes a challenge when you are talking about some topics like this. But so I'm torn between supporting what the Bible is saying and preaching what I want the society to look like. with the patriarchal society, with the patriarchal system in most of our societies, when a girl gets married at an early stage, when they are not given time to access the full education, when they are still not married, the moment they get married, it is expected of them by the society to be like housewives, if I can talk like that, if I can say that. They're expected to remain at home. They're expected to fully concentrate on the house chores, meaning education is never a discussion on that table. In very few circumstances, you will find that a lady who was married in early, while still a young child or still a young lady, will pursue further education, because it is looked at, now that you're married, you're supposed to be here. You're not supposed to pursue any career. You're not supposed to leave the house, you go to school. They feel intimidated. The patriarchal society makes men feel intimidated by educated women. So to heal their intimidation, to heal their feeling that this woman is going to overpower me, or this woman is not going to submit, they tend to tell women, now you can't go to school because this and that. And also, early child marriage also affects women in this matter. You are there, you are fully responsible for the childbearing and rearing. So you will not have enough time to even study. Even if you're told, okay, go and study now, you are free to go and study. You yourself, you'll find you have a lot of responsibilities at the house, to an extent that even if you're pursuing your master's or you're pursuing your career, you'll get to a point of giving up, because you are supposed to look at this after these children. You're supposed to manage all the household without any support, without any kind of support from the society or from the partner. And therefore, you cannot concentrate on education. Another impact of child marriage in education. The moment a girl child is married off to the man, she becomes a property of the man. He becomes a property of her husband, meaning that the husband decides what to do with this girl. The husband decides where to take this girl, and as a result, the resources are rarely put in place to make sure that this girl continues with her education. So on the parent side, the girl has now officially become the property of the man. And on the man's side, the girl is supposed to submit. And as a result, the parents have given up. Their resources are no longer to be used on this girl's education. And on the man, he feels intimidated. So for the submission to continue, he will ensure that he doesn't put any resource in education of this girl child. We are still on the roles of the gender roles that a patriarchal society expects a woman to do, and that is child production, the reproduction and child rearing, the whole upbringing, the children upbringing responsibility is left to the lady. Child rearing and bearing is not an easy task. It has so much challenges. It comes with health challenges, and sometimes maybe a woman is affected, or this little girl, remember, the little girl has had not matured enough to take up these responsibilities that she's being given. So meaning, the moment she's married, then she has to bear and she has to bring up the children. She's affected health-wise, and as a result, she's affected mentally. And if you are not okay physically and mentally, you cannot be in a position to even concentrate in career choice or in education, in pursuing education. The patriarchal society that most communities have normalize gender-based violence. So it is really a responsibility of the girl child. It is, according to a patriarchal society, a girl has no right to fight for her rights. A girl has no right to stand firm for what she believes is right. So even if the girl is willing to maybe to educate herself, the patriarchal society to which this girl has been married in will not allow that. It gives power to the man over this lady, and as a result, it leads to gender-based violence, which affects the lady mentally, physically, and even emotionally. And as a result, this lady is not able to take up any position in the leadership or even in the education sector. I will share more on our platform based on the research that I did, but for now, allow me to leave it to the next speaker. Thank you so much for listening.
Thank you, Ambassador Mary. Amazing points that you've raised. Yeah, I've actually heard about this method where women get married very early, and that is the reason why parents don't waste their money on female children, because they feel that, oh, after wasting all my money, my child will eventually become a property to the man. So, but I think this culture is something of the past, right? Even though there are some places where things like this still happen, that is why we are advocates of change. We want this to change because it's really a sad experience for the female. The female, some of them even lose their life in the process. Yeah, I've heard a story where because the woman wasn't that submissive, she was killed brutally. And this is a very sad moment for everyone. All right, we're going to come to this because this is a very great point. We'll come back to that after the presentations. But in a quick, please quickly, while we still have full house, if it's possible, please, can you turn on your cameras? Let's take just one picture before we continue. If it's possible for you, please turn on your camera. If it's possible, I'm giving another opportunity. If it's possible, please turn on your camera. Let's take pictures. All right, I'm going to take it after the count of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go. Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. All right. So I'll quickly call on the next speaker, Ambassador Johanna John Ropaya. Please, okay, he's not here. Okay, please, Oluwabomi Anani, get ready. After, I know. Okay, after Johanna, please, Bumi, is your turn. Johanna, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Gloria. Good evening to everyone. I don't know, good morning or good afternoon regarding the time zone you are staying. I would appreciate all the speakers, the early speakers. They have spoken all the truth and the real situation which is happening in the world regarding gender disparities in education. But today I would, based on bridging the digital divide, technology and gender equality in education. Yeah, this is a very crucial topic since it highlights how access to technology can promote gender equality in education. So the digital divide refers to the gap between those with access to modern information and communication technology and those without. So this affects women and girls in many regions, particularly in rural or low-income areas. So by addressing this divide, the following key benefits can be realized. Number one, access to education resources. Technology can provide girls and women with access to high-quality educational materials, online courses, and interactive learning experiences, irrespective of their location. But number two, skills development. Technology helps in equipping girls with digital literacy and skills essential for modern jobs, empowering them to compete in a rapidly changing job market. But number three, breaking social barriers. Yeah, digital platforms can offer spaces where girls and women can express themselves, exchange ideas, and challenge stereotypes without fear of judgment, and creating a more inclusive environment for learning. But number four, remote learning opportunities. So with technology, girls in the remote areas can continue their education through online learning, reducing the impact of physical barriers like distance or cultural restrictions that may limit access to traditional schooling. But number five, empowerment and leadership. Exposure to technology can inspire girls to take on leadership roles, both within their communities and beyond, by participating in tech-related fields, policymaking, or entrepreneurship. And number six, supporting gender-responsive pedagogy. Digital tools can support gender-responsive teaching practices that accommodate the different learning needs to girls and boys.
Hi, Johanna. I don't know if
That is promoting civic may include improve the thing that girls and women have access. Yeah.
okay, you are
Hello,
breaking. Continue.
Okay, thank you. I was saying that the efforts which can bridge the digital divide may include the improved access to devices and internet, ensuring that girls and women have access to devices and the internet is fundamental to closing the gender gap in technology, but also capacity building, training teachers, educators, and students to effectively use technology in the classrooms, but also promoting safe and inclusive spaces, creating online platforms that are safe for girls and women, free from harassment and biases, to encourage their participation in digital learning. And conclusively, I can say technology, when used appropriately, can be a powerful tool for achieving gender equality in education, leading to long-term social and economic benefits for individuals and communities. Thank you so much, Dr. Gloria, for the opportunity. God bless you.
Thank you very much, Johanna. You're just on point. Thank you very much. You've just mentioned issues about breaking gender barriers, social barriers. Yes, if we can get that, if you can, because everyone is now on the social media, on the social spaces. So we have to do what? Make sure there is equality in that space. Thank you very much. Please, we'll come back to this because of time. All right, I'm going to call on Ambassador Oluwabumi Anani to take over the virtual floor. Please, Madam Neelam, get ready after Bumi. Is Neelam here? Okay, yes.
Okay, ma'am. Yes.
Okay. Over to you.
Yeah. Okay, a hearty evening to all the contributors and of course observers who have come to support us as we speak on this really passionate and urgent topic. And despite having a broad theme, which is gender disparities in education, I am privileged to be talking from the perspective of policies and strategies to eliminate gender-based violence in schools. Violence is real. And the most painful part of violence is when it is subtle. Yes, when it's subtle. In whatever form, of whatever reason, violence is a violation of a person's fundamental right to be who you are, to do what you want to do, to have the freedom of expression, freedom of speech, freedom to pursue your dreams, freedom of choice, freedom to say yes, freedom to say no. Violence is a destruction, a violation of one's personality. And it is very important that we take this matter very seriously. Whether on a child or a full-grown adult, violence inflicts pain, discomfort, tension that leads to a loss of self-worth, loss of self-esteem, breeds self-doubt, and engenders poverty that is oftentimes cyclical, and of course, wasted potential. That is how bad violence can be. And one of the forms of violence that we have been talking about that inflicts untold pain, torture, in the midst of silence, is what we are discussing this evening, gender-based violence. And what is gender-based violence? It is any harmful act that is perpetrated against another person just because there are socially, instituted constructs against that person, which means that oftentimes, 95% of times, GBV, gender-based violence, is instituted, it is supported, even by the gender that is most affected by this negative phenomenon, the female gender. There are different levels of gender-based violence. The one we all know about, that is popularized, is the intergender violence. Violence against male and female. Violence against female and the male. The female inflicting pain, torture, restriction on the male gender, and vice versa. Then the second level of GBV is the intragender violence. A female violating the rights of another female through bullying, all because we have different perspectives or different opportunities or different socioeconomic status. Females oppress other females in the workplace, in the family, in social circles, and this is worse because if I hurt my own gender, who would I call to rescue me? There are forms of gender violence, sexual assault, verbal abuse, emotional torture, psychological pain, economic deprivation that is done consciously. We have it between lecturers and female students. We have it between teachers and teachers in primary school, in secondary school. We have it student to student, superiors to their subordinates, sex for marks. We have it in the home. We have mothers. They know that their daughters are being sexually harassed by their husbands. But unfortunately, they turn a blind eye to it. And in most cases, the woman, the mother, begins to look at her daughter as the enemy, as the problem. We have sodomy taking place even under the very nose of our parents, which means they know that these things exist, but why are they handicapped, unable to raise their voice, to say something? Even teachers, sometimes we look the other way. No wonder Wale Soyinka, the 1986 Nobel laureate winner, he said something in his book, The Man Died. He said that the man dies in the face of tyranny when he keeps silent. On this basis, I'd like to tell us the root, to share with us the root causes of GBV. Most fundamentally, poverty. Poverty is evil. Poverty brings insecurity. Poverty brings frustration. And so when a man is unable to attack or to put his frustration on the people who are put in that position, what does he do? It transfers aggression through sexual assault, forcing his wife, to have sexual relations with him out of frustration, transferring aggression to his children, transferring aggression to his daughter, because he wants to turn the daughter into a money-making machine. He sees a big, rich man, and then he decides to cave in to the selfish demands of this rich man, and he sells off his daughter, all because of poverty, transferred aggression. The second culprit of GBV is illiteracy. When you go to the village, the people there, they do not even know their fundamental human rights. They say that religion is the opium of the masses. Religion has become a weaponized tool to keep people subservient. And when they are subservient, they cannot distinguish between right and wrong. They are not even open to knowing their fundamental human rights. And so they continue to keep quiet in the face of tyranny, in the face of oppression and injustice. Poverty, illiteracy, then culture. Ambassador Mary Akash talked about patriarchal structures that even we women, we promote. Can't you see he's your brother? You don't talk to boys like that. You should begin to behave well because your brother is the practice ground for you before you get married. Really, that's coming from women. So, amidst many other factors responsible for GBV, these are the three root causes I feel that if we are able to do something about them, culture, that is patriarchy, which influences mindsets, then to poverty, a very wicked situation, then illiteracy. Then we take a leap. Now, what can we do? What are the strategies? We have policies. Nigerian government has come up with policies, but policy is not enough. We need strategies from the grassroots up. We need a bottom-up approach to tackling the issue of gender-based violence, because these policies, only 10% of the elitist population of most countries are even aware that there are policies against GBV. So from where we are, as vanguards of a safe environment and world, as educators, what should we do? We take a lead from South Africa's national strategic policy. South Africa came up because of the high level of femicide, violence leading to the murder of the female gender, which has been on the rise. They decided to take action. So we are going to look at the template that South Africa government decided to adopt, which I call the 6 pillars against GBV. The first is the pillar of accountability. The pillar of accountability asks the questions, who is responsible? I know that if I ask us this question, most of us will say, oh, it's government. Oh, it is poverty. Oh, it is culture. Well, guess what? We are all responsible. Because if I say change begins with you, who is the you? We keep passing the buck. Why don't we say that change begins with me? I take responsibility. You take responsibility. Every child takes responsibility, from the littlest child to the adult. Accountability is the number one pillar. The moment I realize and take responsibility that I am accountable for the safety of my fellow gender and for the male gender, then we're on our way to building a GBV-free world where everyone can achieve their full potential. The second pillar is prevention and building social cohesion. Individualism is killing the fabric of of the global world. Individualism. Oh, gone are those days when every child was everybody's child. When that it takes a village to build or train a child. Then now we look the other way. It's her child, is his child. I don't want issues. But this second pillar says, you and we need to build social cohesion. It's make sure we address the root cause. You know, how? Change mindset. The idea of masculinity being superior to femininity, ideas that promote women's subordination to men through our words, through the books we read to the children, through the role models that we present to the children. Unconsciously, we do this. Then the third pillar is justice, safety, and protection. We must hold the law responsible. We must take advantage of the law. Do we know the policy? Do we know what the policy says about child protection rights? As educators, we should not be ignorant. We should know those laws, those policies that have been put in place for the protection of the children in our care. That way, we will be confident enough to take justice against any sign of subordination or violence against the female gender. Then response care, the fourth pillar is response care. In this pillar, it involves the medical personnel. But again, before we involve the medical personnel, what about us? I remember on this platform, we talked about safe spaces. You are the number one confidant of that child, not even their parents, oftentimes, in most cases. Are you safe enough for that child to meet you, to meet me, for safe disclosures, for that child to disclose? Let me give an example. There is a school in Yola, FGC. There was a situation whereby girls' school, was put in the family way by a member of the family. And so somehow it was detected. Then the counselor handled the case. Prior to the counselor being the counselor in that school, there was this policy that any girl that is found in the family way would be brought out on the school assembly ground in the afternoon and embarrassed, so that way they feel it will serve as deterrent to the other girls. But the counselor acted in wisdom. She realized she was a safe space. She met with the principal and said, "Madam, this is the issue." The madam said, "Oh, we must take action. Bring her out. We must disgrace her, like we have been doing to others." She said, "No, ma, because if you do this is not going to solve the problem. These children are going through a lot. If you can take time to listen to them." She said, "This is what we will do. The nurse who is in charge of dispatching such children would go wait for that child at the gate so that nobody would suspect anything. And we go quietly, we would have told the girl to quietly pick at things. That way, nobody suspects. That child will leave the school without being embarrassed." That was many years ago. Now, we thank God that the policy of asking children, I am rounding up now, sorry, of asking children, girls' child to leave is now a forgotten issue. It has been improved upon. They can give birth and still return to school. That way, they are able to pursue their education. Now, the two final pillars, economic power. We must not just talk about GBV. We should empower our girls, empower our boys. A boy who is poor will be a bad husband to the girl child. A girl child who is not empowered will be a victim to a selfish money bag. Action plan. What should we do? Number one, let's talk about it. To parents, let us conscientize, not just sensitize, but conscientize. We should also take an uncompromising stand against bullying. Then we should also look at the books we teach used for our children. The books should be books or stories that also campaign against GBV. We can also introduce movies, true life movies like The Girl from Mogadishu. It talks against female genital mutilation and a true life story. On this note, I want to say thank you very much for being vanguards against GBV. And I'm grateful to our CEO, Dr. Gloria, for giving me this platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Amazing point. I won't forget this. Poverty. Poverty is the root of everything. And most especially in this aspect of gender equality. Poverty, transfer of aggression from parents, illiteracy, and also culture. Thank you very much. We'll come back to this after all the presentation. Thank you very much. All right, I'm going to quickly call on Madam Nilam. So while Madam Nilam is presenting, please, Joseph, Emmanuel, please get ready. Over to you, Madam Nilam.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, namaste, and Jai Hind from India. First is 26th January, the Republic Day of India is tomorrow. Institution knowledge on this 20,000. Thank you very much, Ms. Gloria and all esteemed members to giving me this opportunity to speak this program. Thank you very much. Today's topic, disparities
don't hear
in
you.
education. I'm audible. I'm audible.
Yes, I can hear you. I don't know about others, but I can hear her.
Thank you.
Okay.
So regarding this topic, many of the members, all of them actually have spoken so many things they have given here, and many views we have got, and these are the very positive views. Regarding this, my topic is role of female teachers as a role model in bridging gender gap. So this is a really very interesting topic. A female teacher acts as a crucial role model in bridging the gender gap by providing girls with a positive representation of women in leadership positions, which can inspire them to pursue higher education and careers that might be traditionally seen as a male-dominated, thereby encouraging greater female participation across various fields. This will be very much impactful. Many things are here, many points are here. For that, a lady teacher can work, and lady teacher have to think about this point. So my first point, it is atmosphere among the lady teachers first. Atmosphere among the teachers, first of all, the lady teacher should create an atmosphere of themselves when she is sitting with male teachers, because the students, they copy the teachers. Whatever teachers do, the students try to do this thing. So first of all the female teachers have to create a healthy atmosphere when she is sitting, they are sitting with male teachers. First thing it is. And next, lady teachers can create a mindset of the children regarding positiveness about the male teachers. Because in general, we think as a male teacher, as a dominating person, male teachers behavior as a male dominating. So first of all, this thing, positiveness about the male teacher, male students, male gender, it is very necessary. By which for this lady teacher can show the some great personalities of the male teachers, male genders, great personality examples they can give to the students to remove the gap between the male and female. Next, breaking gender stereotypes.
I don't know the problem. I don't hear anything.
Yes.
Okay,
Joseph.
Mr. Joseph, I can hear her. I don't know about others. Dr. Rania, please, can you hear her? Bumi, Can you hear her?
I'm audible.
Yes, she's audible, ma'am. Clearly audible.
I can hear her. She's audible.
She's audible.
She is. I can hear her clearly.
Mr. Joseph, maybe you check
Okay.
your audio. She's audible.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. I have given my first point that atmosphere among the teachers, it is very necessary, and mindset of the children should be created like positiveness for the male gender, because always the male genders are not wrong. They may be a great leader, great personality, and they may be very much helping for the female gender. And next is teacher can break the gender stereotypes by taking the challenges and show the children fulfill these challenges. And next point is mentorship and guidance. Teacher may be a guide, just like a guide, and accept, as I have told, acceptances. She can show so many female personality in front of them, as Miss Rania already told that many leaders can call to the in front of the children, advocate maybe, celebrity may be there, doctors may be there, and wherever the ladies and are working, they can take the example of these and they can call them in front of the children. And regarding this, next point is promoting gender equality inside the classroom. It is very necessary for a lady teacher. There, the sitting arrangement, it is a very minor level, I am saying, because in India, in some schools, it happens yet now, or the students will separately from the female students. So it should not be, sitting arrangement should be changed time by time. Groups may be made and project work may be given to the children by which they can do together, and collaboration may be there inside the classroom. Sometimes they can take them outside of the school also, and many things she can create inside the classroom. Method of teaching, it is also very important. As I am the principal, I have seen once for the physical education, at the time of physical activity, the girls students time they don't take less. So that time teachers, the lady teacher can play a very special role in front of them, because they can accept these type of challenges, and physical activity can show itself in front of the students. I have seen one of the teacher, physical education teacher, he was teaching the volleyball children. So boys, they take interest in these type of activity. They always play very well, and they don't get scared by the injuries. So I have seen that physical education teacher was teaching very much soft method. First of all, the teacher has started how to throw a ball, how you not get injured, because sometimes the female they get scared by the injuries so much. So the methods can be changed. And regarding sometimes the activity should also be organized inside the classroom, which activities that are always, we find the duties of a female. Cooking it is a duty of the female. Generally the person think the female can do only cooking and drawing and painting, this type of work. So this type of activity can be organized inside the classroom, but the male student should also be involved in these activities, by which the girls will feel equality is there. The boys are also taking interest in the duties of the girls generally. So these types points, if a lady teacher work on these points, and many other points when the students are working on the social media. So about that, first of all, we have to remove the fear of the female gender, that one fear is there that somebody can hurt them, somebody can harm them, and especially that is the male. So first of all, this fear we have to remove. And how we can remove this fear? We can time by time we can do the parents orientation, as Knight sir and some of the members already told that it is necessary to tell the parents. Sometimes parents say this work, as Gloria ma'am has said, that this is of your work and this is not of your work. Sometimes we say, you are girl, you will not do this. So parents orientation, it is very necessary. Time by time we can call them and we can guide them how they have to guide their children at home also. And at last, the government's duty, it is very necessary because we have to take the support of the government, because first of all, government will create an atmosphere by which the fear which is always inside our heart, inside everybody's heart, that fear we have to remove first. We have to give a healthy atmosphere to all the gender, because there is not only the female genders, they are worried about it, male gender also worried about it. So atmosphere that can be given by the government also. So teachers can realize to government, they can do a work with collaborating with the government, by which the government make the law to remove this type of fear and create a healthy atmosphere by which we can feel the equality in genders. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you very much, Madam Nilam. Thank you. There's one main thing, the major thing she spoke that really drew my attention. Female teachers as role model. Do we stand as role models in our schools? I think I have an experience, but I'm going to share that experience after all the presentations. This is an experience of don't worry, I'm going to share it after the presentation. So I'll quickly call on the next speaker, Mr. Joseph Simba. Please, Yana, get ready. After Joseph, you're going to take the virtual floor.
Oh, thank you very much. Good evening, all. The topic is educating boys as allies for gender equality in school. When we talk about gender equality, this can be done through various approaches aimed to raise awareness and educating boys about the importance of gender equality, or empowering them to take action as allies in eliminating gender-based discrimination and violence. We can done this by following ways or strategies. Firstly, for teaching respect and gender affirmation. At school, we may introduce programs and teaching that incorporated a concept of respecting gender equality and the importance of affirming the right of all individuals, regardless of gender. This can be starting with educating boys about aspects of gender-based violence, discrimination, and its impact, as well as how to eliminate harmful gender norms. The first is building healthy gender relations. Through education in school, the respect and equality in relationship is the gender health and respectful relations. Schools can introduce discussions and workshops on topics such as consent, women and girls' rights, and how to build the gender equal relationship. The third one is using male role models who support gender equality. For example, they could invite men involved in gender equality movement or community efforts as role models, so the boys can see how to be active allies in gender transformation. The fourth is gender discussions and breaking gender barriers. Schools should create open and deep discussion on gender issues where boys can ask key questions, share their experiences, and learn about the harm of outdated gender stereotypes. Another one is teaching about should teach school boys about the rights of women and girls, helping them understanding that gender equality benefits everyone. This can aims to reduce gender-based violence, promote the right to education for girls, and eliminate barriers in workshops and societies. The sixth one is encouraging boys to be advocates for gender rights. When boys understand their own rights and those of others, they can be or can take actions as allies to prevent gender-based violence. And the seventh is collaboration with the Gender Equality Advocacy Program. School can collaborate with the social or international organization to implement awareness programs on gender equality and to educate students on preventing gender violence. Through this initiative, boys can understand the importance of partnering with girls and women in combating gender-based violence. By using these ways or strategies, school can help boys become true allies in creating an equal society and make significant contribution in change gender stereotypes and eliminating gender discrimination in the community. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Mr. Joseph Simba. Nice presentation. Please, because of time, I'll quickly rush over to the last presenter. Professor Laila was supposed to present today, but because of her health, we're going to skip her presentation today. Sorry, and we wish you speedy recovery. All right, our last presenter for today is Yanosori Piga. The virtual floor is yours.
I can participate. I wrote to you that I can share my speech.
Okay. Then after Yana, you're going to, I'll give you the audience. Yana, please, you have 4 minutes for your presentation. Over to you. You are muted. We can't hear you.
Okay. So tonight I'm presenting about the as the topic is the dams addressing gender disparities in education. Okay, well done. Me as Indonesian specialist, the Sumba Islands of East Nusa Tenggara, it is required to underline perfectly British such gender-based violence. Okay, well then here is the we having for the problems about gender living, especially for the girls and the or women in Sumba Islands. We have the early marriage a few years ago before we knowings of the modern livings, millenniums and the globally livings. Before that, we live so struggles, so difficult. We get educations as women and girls. And I'm talking the truly informations, the truly history about genders in Sumba Islands. So since a few years ago, we have buildings names of that is since the foundations. That is a few years ago, we have buildings of Women Communication Vehicle Foundations. That is meanings in Indonesia, Yayasan Wahana Komunikasi Wanita. And then also Sumba Women Forum Perempuan Sumba. that is building at the years when I still teenagers, when I still in the primary schools, secondary high schools, that the LTD or that is the vehicles buildings has the programs how to guide and drive women to be truly coming up of their dreams. So there is the woman. There is the women's learn how to get out from the darkness livings. Before that they get out from the darkness livings, the women here in Sumba Islands, they just do the work at the housewife. They just do the work in the kitchens. They cannot get out from the house. The parents, it's difficult to give them a time to get their educations. I'm really, really sad. But I'm hearing the history, the truly histories before I born, and then also when I'm born of my baby, of my adult times, I saw the women from the environment of mine, my neighbor, for the neighbor village. I saw that the women, they just walk and walk their livings for the family, for their husband and their children. That is like so. I feel right now that the year 2022 are done especially for women. Stop violence against women. My titles of the films 2022 March is written by March 13, 2022. That is the title is about the stop violence against women. That is the film specialist for the women. So I'm so happy since the foundation was founded. It can teach women, okay, can teach women better understanding how they develop in their futures. They provide training for women who have limited educations. Because in the past of women in Sumba Islands always didn't have the space and time to study because women as housewives. Where they work in the kitchens to serve both parents, serve children, husband, and the husband families, and the families and the parents' families. So, in the difficult provided freedom to study parents' priority voice as the next generations. Oh my God, the parents only providing education for men or their sons, not women, not girls. Because they say if we take study for the girls, there's nothing to get from our daughters. They have limited thinkings. I'm really I'm really sad and upset with the parents in early times. So now I'm happy because since the foundation conduct, okay, since the foundation was established, it can teach women to better understand how they develop in the futures. They conduct training for women who have limited educations because in the past, women in Sumba Island didn't have space and time to study because women here more focused. They working as housewomen, as housewives, where they work in the kitchens to serve both parents, serve children, husband, and their husband families, even so difficult to give them freedoms because of the cultures. We live in the cultures.
Yana, you are muted.
Oh, so you can hear?
I can hear you now.
Okay.
Please round off your presentation.
Yes, we hear you.
I read
Yeah,
again, okay?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So I say a few years ago there was a building of human communications. Women Communication Vehicle Foundation, that is named Yayasan Wahana Komunikasi Wanita, and then the Sumba Women Forum, Forum Perempuan Sumba. There I was ever worked as the employee at the years since I still in the degrees of my school of senior high school Form 3. I was work there in the forming for the women. So Sumba Women Forum, which can bring out women from the darkness, and there women learn how to get out from the darkness life as housewomen. For there, that women can realize that their future is important to get development and get free for educationals to give chance to their daughters to get their school times. Why they get their school times? Because in early times, the parents just focus, give a chance and time to their sons to get education from primary school, secondary high school, senior high school, even to the college, and get job after they finish their school from the college or university. So I think that is very badly thinking from the parents. So I'm so happy since the foundation's communications for women is in Iceland. That is can give the woman development, and then the woman get the high quality. Yeah, the women have get high qualities from these forums. So
Yana, please can you round up because of time? Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
Okay. I wanted you to round up. Are you okay with that now? Have you rounded up? Sorry about that.
Okay.
All right. Thank you very much, Yana. Okay, I'm quickly call on the last speaker, Professor Laila Taig, to take over the virtual floor.
Okay, thank you very much that I joined today, and I see that this topic is most important since I am a woman, and this is a very close topic to my heart. And also, I am a mom of two girls, which is we need to tackle this topic, which is gender equality. I want to start with the quote by Malala. Sorry, which says the education is the key to unlocking the potential of girls and women everywhere. So yes, I think this is true, since cultural norms play a significant role in shaping our attitudes, behaviors, and expectations around gender. Am I audible? Sorry, just to check.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, you are.
I think these norms can have a profound impact on education, influencing the way boys and girls learn, interact, and participate in the classroom. As since we are teachers, it's also mentioned that how our students behave in class, and who take the initiative, who feel that the initiative is not given to her or to him. In this topic, we are all invited to explore the ways in which cultural norms perpetuate gender disparities in education, and we should, I think, highlight the challenges, and also why not tackle. Let's be proactive and provide some solutions that can help address these issues. I think cultural norms around masculinity and femininity can limit educational opportunities for girls and boys alike at the same time. For example, in some cultures, you can see that girls are expected to prioritize domestic duties over education, while boys are encouraged to pursue careers in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, which is STEM. This expectation can lead to lack of representation of girls in STEM fields and shortage of skilled workers in those areas. Where you find that girls are limited to like GP teachers or nurses or just care in some domestic houses or housewives. I don't despise these jobs, but they are also important, but not that skillful like a mathematician or an engineer, like that's taken by boys. Moreover, cultural norms around family dynamics can also impact girls' education in some societies. Girls are expected to take on family responsibilities, such as caring for younger siblings or elder relatives, like a sister, for example, the older sister. She's supposed to take care of her younger siblings, so which is unfair, I think. Um, which can limit their ability to attend school. Boys, on the other hand, may be encouraged to pursue education and career opportunities, reinforcing the notion that men are the primary breadwinner, which is not true nowadays in this 21st century. The impact of the challenges, I think, the impact of cultural norms on education is multi-faceted. One of the primary challenge is ensuring access and equity in education. Girls in many parts of the world face significant barrier of education, including poverty, lack of infrastructures, and cultural norms that patriotize boys over girls. Even when girls do attend school, they may face biases in the curriculum, which materials often reinforcing stereotypes and limiting their career aspiration. Teachers training is another critical area that requires attention, especially sometimes in some countries where are some we send like teachers to some remote areas or some cities in order to be trained or attend some workshops. So just you say male teachers who attend, and not female teachers, which is also again unfair. Teachers can play a significant role because they reinforce and challenge the cultural norms, and they can change this idea. Let's tackle now some solution addressing the impact of the cultural norms on Another solution is to promote cultural sensitivity in education policies and programs. This involves acknowledging and respecting diverse cultural norms while promoting gender equality. For example, education programs can incorporate local customs and traditions while challenging biases and stereotypes. Also, empowering role models is also critical in transforming cultural norms and performing greater gender equality. Women and girls who have overcome cultural barriers to achieve education success can serve as powerful inspiration in all the fields, in math, in the science, or in literature, in arts, demonstrating that education is a viable and valuable option for all. So to conclude, cultural norms play a significant role in perpetuating gender disparities in education. Addressing these disparities requires nuanced understanding of cultural contexts and a commitment to promoting inclusivity and challenging biases. By engaging local communities, promoting cultural sensitivity, and empowering role models, we can work together and toward creating a more equitable education system that values and supports the aspirations of all students, regardless of their gender or also cultural backgrounds, religion, and so on. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Professor Laila. Thank you. Amazing presentation. Wow. Thank you. Please, the floor is open for anyone that has any contribution, any question, or anything to add up to the topics the presenters have spoken about. So the floor is open. Okay, yes. Over to you, Dr. Rania.
Yes. Yes. We have discussed so much today about collaboration with the governments, with NGOs, with the parents. But I think that the most important, it's about men's collaboration. If we talk about true women empowerment, what happened with men here in Greece, we have extremely high rates of gender-based violence, especially after the COVID pandemic. We have every day women who are killed by their husbands, femicides, every day, more and more and more. So empowerment is not just about uplifting one group. It's about creating an equitable, inclusive environment where both men and women work together towards shared goals. So if men cannot challenge stereotypes and norms, how this will work. Men can be actually powerful allies by advocating for women's rights and gender equality, both in workplace and society. But is it happening in reality? This is a question that I wanted to make. We need men as powerful allies, not our enemies. This is what I want to say.
Yeah, that's true. We need men as allies, not competitors and not bullies. And I want to just quickly chip in something. You know, we're always talking about men, women. But the truth is that even women, we don't support each other. We don't. We expect men to, to be our allies. We expect them to work hand in hand with us. We expect them to appreciate us as human beings too. But we as women, we don't support each other. I wanted to give an example. I once worked in a place, a school, where we had only female teachers, no male teacher, and okay, just few male teachers. That is subject teachers that comes in, and some teachers that come in and go once in a while. But the major teachers in the school were females, and guess what? The bullying among females was excess. You find out, you see female teachers trying to overshadow another female teachers trying to bring down their fellow female, which is very bad. Okay, you can imagine that. Just look at that. We are expecting male to treat us well when we don't treat ourselves well. It should start from us. We are role model. There's this saying that goes, we have to treat others the way you want to be treated. So when you downgrade or overlook your female counterpart, you expect the male to treat you well. It's not right. So that's just what I wanted to chip in. This is just a first-hand experience. The experience I had in the hands of my fellow female. They tried to bring me down. They even, no matter how not just me, there are other female teachers that were treated the same way. No matter what you do, they don't appreciate. it's just the few male teachers that come in that appreciate what others are doing. So I think we should start from ourselves. We should treat each other well before we expect the other genders to, treat us well as well. Please, any other person?
Yes,
Okay,
yes.
Mary, over to you.
Thank you so much. Mine, I've just remembered that we really have a vital role. We have a huge role to play as educators in bridging the gap in gender, as far as gender disparity is concerned. I remember when I entered a class with a mathematics book, and before I did that, I used that chance to gauge the students' perception on the gender, on the careers that are supposed to be pursued by women and men. And then now I asked them, which subject or which learning area do you think I'm going to take you through? And others were like life skill, social studies, social science. So from there, I realized that simply because I'm a woman or I'm a lady, they expect me to take the humanities and not the sciences and not to be in the STEM. So I was like, no, I'm going, in Kenya, we say, mimi ni mwalimu wa maths. I'm a maths teacher. So if you tell them that, they're like, oh. So we really have to get to the point of making these students understand, our learners understand, that despite the fact that we have these negative stereotypes within us, we can actually overcome them. And then how do we do this? Let's adopt the accommodative development model. Accommodative development model, whereby instead of just empowering the girl child, instead of just informing the girl child about what they're supposed to do and how to overcome these negative gender stereotypes, let's bring in both boys and girls and educate them together. When a boy is educated about gender equity over equality or gender equality, this boy will even help will even help in sharing this information with other girls and boys. So just that's all for me for the comment. Thank you so much once again.
You're welcome. Okay, over to you, Ambassador Prince.
Good evening, everyone, esteemed colleagues and hosts. Well, for me, the major issue that has always been my concern is the mindset we have towards this issue of gender. It's so disheartening. Our mindsets we need to have what we call a mindset reprogramming. A lot of people just feel that, okay, what has been should always be. Now, what I mean is that culture has really changed the mindset of how we look at gender. And if we want to get a headway in the battle on gender, as in making sure that, yes, we bring equity to the genders, male and female, we need to really go back and begin to sit down with our culture, with our traditional rulers, and let them begin to understand what gender is all about. Because naturally, culture has really made them understand that, yes, as a man, yes, you are the Lord, you are the king, you are the ruler, you are the top. And as a woman, you're just meant to give birth, to be in the kitchen, and to stay back. So if we can really go back and really start addressing our traditionalists, our cultural rulers, making them say, like here, like in Kano State, where we see that, yes, most ladies are standing up, is because the culture is being addressed here. They are looking at ways of talking to rulers, talking to chairmen, talking to councillors, and they are now seeing that, yes, it's true. Girls need to go back to school. It's not just only the boys that need to go to school. Girls need to go to school. Women need to be having jobs and all that. So if such could be taken into cognizance, I think the mindset of people will be changed and we can have a headway in the battle against this. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ambassador
If
Prince.
you allow me, Gloria, I want to add something on what Prince said.
Okay.
It's a term that I forgot to mention, what we call gender intelligence. Gender intelligence means that we need to understand and appreciate the inherent differences between men and women in terms of how they think, they communicate, how they problem solve, how they lead. So this concept, it's not about reinforcing stereotypes. It's about recognizing and valuing the unique qualities and strengths each gender brings to the table. It's only this, I think, the only possibility is to respect the differences. So we need to emphasize the importance of leveraging these differences to foster better collaboration, innovation, performance. And that's why I said that gender equality, it's a wrong term. We talk about gender equity because women and men have inherent biological differences, so they're not equal. Yes, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, any other thing, any other person? The floor is
open. Hello, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Well, I want to thank all the speakers. They really exposed us to giving us much insight in this topic. So I have something I want to say, because I would say I'm a victim of this gender discrimination because I was born into a family that my mother had first girls. It was after much later years that she had to be blessed with a male child. So growing up, it was not really easy. Paying our school fees was a problem, but I thank God for the kind of mother she was then. She had to ensure that we were given proper education. So I want to say that before all these things we are discussing now we need to let the society know. The society, just somebody that mentioned parental involvement. Parents have to be informed. They need to be educated. They need to be carried along because we've learned, we've known. But if the parent don't really know what to do and have that ability to change and implement all these things that have been outlined here as part of the solution, it will still having the problem. So I don't know how it can be done that our parents, the society will be really enlightened that children should be given equal opportunity. Children should be given equal opportunity, not being biased, not saying this is a male child, this is a female child. I think the society is what we really need to work on. And if we're able to get through the society, we will not still be saying all these things we are saying concerning gender balance or gender disparity. So it's the society that we need to penetrate and we will get it right and better. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Joma. Thank you. Any other person? Any other? Okay, I think in absence of any other contribution or question, we're going to call it a day. All right. Thank you, everyone, for... Mr. Joseph, do you want to say something?
No, yes. Thank you. Thank you very much for all who presented.
Okay, thank you. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It has been an amazing session, and we've delved into the complexities of gender disparities in education and uncovered actionable insights that can help us move closer to achieving gender equality in education. However, let us remember that the work doesn't end here. The conversation we've had today are only the beginning. It is now our responsibility to carry these lessons forward, to advocate for change, and to implement the strategies discussed in our respective spheres of influence. Thank you very much once again, and see you next time.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Namaste from India.
Thank
everyone.
Thank you.
All right,
One
see you
photo
guys on Wednesday.
One
See you.
photo because we have opened our cameras, so we can take some photos now.
Yes,
Gloria.
Okay.
Okay, open your cameras, please. Let's take the final pictures. Smile, everyone. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. And see you on Wednesday. All right.
Nice.
Thank you.
Okay, all right.
I want to join next seminar, next session.
Yes, yes. See you then. Bye.
Bye.